Gaffer, another week in training. Looking forward to Saturday and getting back to the DW.
Yeah, looking forward to the game. It was obviously a good result for us last week at Scunthorpe. On our travels, we've done okay now. I think we've won 4 and lost 2. So it equates to a good amount of points. You know, a lot of teams who draw games, and we've been through that at previous clubs. You know, it's better to win and lose, albeit it doesn't look as good, you know, but the points tally adds up to being better. Certainly coming back to the DW Stadium this week, we're looking forward to the game, albeit it'll be a very difficult one.
You mentioned the points tally, our best ever start to a season, but I guess that's all it is, a start.
That's all. Listen, you can go up in football now. There's 3 games this week. You know, there'll be teams out there who don't win for 3 games. There'll be teams who win all 3. It's football. You know, no one can predict what's about to come. You know, I think the preparation you do for every game is important. You know, none more so than Saturday for us. You know, where we must prepare properly for a very difficult game, because that's what it's going to be.
Before Saturday's game, we're going to show our appreciation to Ian McNeil, who sadly passed away last weekend. He played a huge part in this club's history. I know you came in just after him.
Yeah, I think it is very sad, you know, for his family and everyone else, and I think it's a great mark of respect from our club that we'll show our appreciation towards Ian, you know, before Saturday's game.
We play Southend in that game, and Phil Brown's got a good side there. He's been there for a few years, and they're a well-marked team in this league.
Yeah, I think, you know, injuries, strokes, suspensions even have played a big part in Southend. Not starting well, because they've actually been on a very good run as of late, you know, but they've lost quite a few players, and important players for them through injury, and that affects every team. You know, of course it does. So, you know, Southend will prepare how their team's right for the game with whatever team they put out. It'll still be a very strong team. Any team with Ranger at the top end and Cox, you know, is formidable opposition at this level for sure, and possibly the level above. You know, so it'll be a difficult game for us. Southend have got a lot of good players, very experienced manager, you know, and we're not taking the game tomorrow with any sort of like where we'll be okay, or, you know, they've got a couple of suspensions at the back or anything like that. It'll be very difficult for us Saturday.
Talking of formidable players, Michael Jacobs, how's he got on this week? Obviously we missed him last weekend.
Michael's fine. It was always last week. Michael's trained well this week now, so he'll come back into contention. You know, I thought the team was outstanding on Saturday without Sammy and without Michael. You know, it's important without Reece James. You know, so it's important that the squad can stand up to that test, which they've done. You know, certainly with Michael last week, it was very much more precautionary than being out injured. You know, he was feeling his thigh, and he had been for a couple of days and felt it in the game. So, you know, we thought it best to lose him for the game, knowing that he'll come back into a team now this week. Hopefully that can go on a good run again.
Welcome Sammy Morsey back into the group. He must be buzzing after getting to the World Cup in front of 80,000 over in Egypt.
I think it's great honour for Sammy. It's a great achievement for Egypt as a country. I think for anyone now, the importance of the trying to get to the World Cups. You've seen Argentina this week only just make it. You know, America not make it. You know, there's plenty of clubs who haven't, and I think it'll offer Sammy an opportunity at the end of the season to be involved in a World Cup, which is for any player at any level is a fantastic experience.
And you've known him for many years. He really has come on, hasn't he?
I've got great time for Sammy as a lad and as a player. He lives his life for football. He's very, very committed to, you know, Wigan Athletic and playing football. He gets everything he can out of his football career, you know, and he certainly is, for me, a role model of a player. You know, albeit at times them yellow cards come out very quickly to Sammy, but I think that just epitomises what he's about and his will to win.
Is that one of the reasons he was captain, or the reason he's been named as your captain?
Listen, I think any team with a Sammy Morsey is a good team, but we're lucky at Wigan Athletic. We've got a lot of players in my mind. You've just spoke about Michael Jacobs, albeit Michael's not a captain, he's a leader by example, and you can go right through our team now with them like Nathan Baird, you know, Dan, but all the players now are doing different things by leading by example, albeit sometimes it doesn't have to be vocally. It can be by actions, you know, and a lot of our lads lead by action. So, you know, we're delighted with them all. We're delighted with Sammy. You know, as I say, we go into the game now on Saturday, looking forward to the game.
You just mentioned Dan Burn. Has he been leading the finishing training this week after Scunthorpe?
It was a good finish though, wasn't it? To be fair to Dan, it was a good finish. It was a good half turn, and he smacked it with that left foot. So I think he said his mum was behind the goal, so trying to get his mum to every game possible at the minute, I think that would be a good... No, you know, we'd expect Dan to score a few goals, wouldn't we, from set pieces, you know, albeit not like that. You know, Dan epitomises what, for me, what's good about football. You know, not just a good player, a great lad.